Welcome to Cooking with Rangerrob. Grab your aprons, people. We're going to make something good today. Hello everyone, this is Rangerrob and welcome to the Rangerrob Country Living channel and Cooking with Rangerrob. I have to blend this video because I also have a channel for Cooking with Rangerrob. And instead of doing the tour around the greenhouse and stuff like that, today I pulled 4 Walla Walla onions out of our garden. And they're beautiful. And I'm going to make, it looks delicious, and I want to give credit to Sam the cooking guy, French onion chicken breast. So it's a combination of French onion soup and searing your chicken and then putting it into the French onion soup with a beautiful Swiss cheese and also a combination of baking. And we'll go ahead and film that today. But the first thing I got to do is get to the grocery store because I need some thyme, some beef stock, and I want to get some more Swiss cheese. And everything else I have already for my dish today. So I hope you enjoy, kick back, and enjoy a little cooking with Rangerrob. One last thing I wanted to point out is, since my wife works 9 to 5 every day, I actually cook our dinners every night. So I urge everybody, but men, to take up some of the other chores around the house to make things a little more fair. So a few years back, I just, since I retired, instead of expecting my wife to cook dinner when she got home, I know, old school, I started picking up and actually started enjoying it. And we spent a little bit more money on Traegers, Blackstone, some other things that I enjoy cooking with. And so it makes cooking fun for me. So today I'm actually very excited to make a really cool meal for my wife of this chicken breast and French onion soup. So anyway guys, let me get to the grocery store and let's get started. Alright guys, to get started, and we need a skillet we can use on top of the stove and in the oven. First of all, we need to start cutting up our onions. I'm doing about 2.5 pounds of onions, give or take, and it was really a pleasure to work with Walla Walla onions. They were mild and delicious. Here's my finished product after I cut up all the onions. Next, we pulled out our chicken breasts from Costco, cut them in half because it's just me and Sherry, and also made sure and looked over all the pieces and trimmed them out nicely. I placed the chicken breasts on a plate, and normally I would put olive oil all over these pieces of chicken, but I forgot. I did do it later, but here you want to add salt and pepper mix, 50-50 mix. And then right after that, you want to add a little of smoked paprika. This gives it color and some extra flavor. Do this on both sides of the chicken. Now it's time to medium heat our skillet with a little bit of olive oil, and the chicken had olive oil already too to keep it from sticking. Now we sear for 3 minutes on both sides of the chicken. We're looking for golden brown on both sides, and it adds flavor to the whole meal. Once you're satisfied with the first side, flip them over and do it all over again. Now it's time to pull these puppies off, put them on a plate, set them aside because we have some onions to cook. Now let's take the same pan, add a little bit of olive oil, and also add a tablespoon of butter. Yes, butter. That's to make it nice and rich. Be lenient. More butter is better. Now let's dump our onions in. Yes, all of it. And yeah, it looks like a lot of onions, but it will bake down. This is where the patience begins. Now break up your onions a little bit. Turn down your stove to a medium heat. And it's going to take a while to cook these down, but what we're looking for is a nice golden brown onions. At the beginning here, it's important that you keep stirring around and making sure that the butter and the olive oil gets spread all over those onions so you can get some really good flavor and get a good golden brown. While your onions are cooking, this is a good time to get some fresh thyme and start getting yourself a little pile of it. Maybe a 2 teaspoons worth. We're going to put some in the onions itself and then later spread a little bit over the finished product. But go back to those onions, make sure that you're stirring them and keeping them from burning on the bottom of the plate. Once again, don't keep your burner too hot. Next, I'm getting ready to add freeze-dried garlic, about 2 teaspoons worth. Just a reminder, keep stirring these around. They're starting to get golden brown. Here I'm adding my garlic. Now I'm adding salt and pepper to taste. I'm doing about 4 pinches right now, but I will be adding more later. Make sure and blend your garlic and your salt and pepper as best you can throughout all the onions. Here comes the fun part. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of vermouth to this wonderful meal. You can also use cooking sherry. Don't you worry, that alcohol will burn off. So make sure you get this all stirred together really well to get the flavors blended. Now it's time to add about 2 cups of beef broth to the onions. You can add as much as you like. If you want to put an extra cup in and make it a little thinner, no problem. The other thing I'm going to do is add a little bit more thyme to this meal right now. And I'm using about 3/4 of what I cut up earlier. Now just softly stir and blend everything together till the beef broth comes to the same temperature. Believe it or not, add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. This will not make your onions taste like an Asian meal. It just adds great flavor. Now you can skip this part, but I want to thicken this up a little bit more like a gravy. Because remember, I'm going to be cooking my chicken in this. So add a little flour to the consistency that you would like and stir it in thoroughly so you don't have a flour taste. Make sure to blend this as best you can. We don't want a flour taste at all. If you don't want to use flour, you can use shortening too. That works really well too. That would definitely help you avoid any flour taste. Now at this point, as you've been stirring for quite a while, it's time to probably start doing a taste test. So see what it tastes like. See if it needs a little more salt, a little more pepper, and make sure it doesn't taste like flour. And if you're happy with it, then go with it. Me, I'm going to add a little bit more salt and pepper. So I think I'm going to do about, 4 more pinches here. And stir it around, keep tasting it, and make sure it's seasoned the way you want it to be. Even after all that, I did add a little bit more kosher salt. Just needed just a little bit more salt. And once again, you want to do that to your flavors. Some people like things salty, some people don't. Now that you get your seasonings just right, it's time to add our chicken back in. Now remember, they're not cooked all the way yet, so what we want to do is get them in the oven at 350, and we want to cook the chicken with the internal temperature of around 160 degrees. And then don't worry about that, we want to go to 165 later, but once we pull this out of the oven, then we're going to add cheese to it, and then we're going to put it in the broiler. So yeah, we still got a little ways to go, but I'm telling you, this is worth it. Once this has been in the oven for a while, we want to do the internal temperature and check for around 160 degrees. And it'll vary in different pieces of chicken. But we're just about there and about ready to pull this out and put cheese on it. Once you hit the temperatures that you think you're comfortable with, now it's time to get some Swiss cheese. And what I'm doing is taking slices, breaking them in half, and overlaying them over each piece of chicken. And once you get the final piece of cheese on there, It's time to set your broiler on a low setting, and we're going to put the pan back in and melt the cheese. Now let's just throw it back into the oven, wait about 5 minutes, and you'll have melted cheese all over that yummy chicken. And there it is, the glamour shot. Does that look delicious or what? It's still bubbling and goodness, smells like onions, and it's just crying out, eat me, eat me. Now it's time to serve this puppy up. Sherry's going to take one piece of chicken, and then she's going to go back and put French onion soup on the sides and on the top. Alright guys, so this is our chicken and onion French onion soup. Hopefully it'll come out alright. You wanted to try it first?
No, go ahead. It's cheesy.
Alright guys, I want to get a bite with a little bit of cheese and a little bit of onions on it. Let's see what it tastes like. It's probably pretty hot. Wow, it tastes pretty good. Swiss cheese is definitely makes it really sweet, really nice. So guys, easy to make. The thing that takes the longest is cooking down the onions, and this is kind of a small version of making French onion soup without using as many onions, and I like it. Alright, now for the big judge. What do you think?
It's really good. It's very good. Good.
She'll stay married to me one more year. Alright, guys, we're going to eat. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. And have a great day, everyone. Bye. Our videos are made possible by Rangerrob Poopy Bags, available at Amazon right now. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.